Good morning, students. This is Asha, your social science teacher. Yesterday we completed our chapter 1 in history, tracing the changes through thousand year. That was the explanation which we did. Today we'll go through book, we'll learn new key terms, and we'll be doing book exercises. We'll discuss some of the book exercise. So, children, on screen you can see tracing the changes through thousand year. Your book is like this, and I have already sent you this chapter in your Google Classroom. So here on first page you can see the map prepared by Al-Adrasi. So in this book, what you need to do, whatever written near the pictures, please read them carefully. It's very important. A section of the world map drawn by geographer Al-Adrasi in 12th century. To be precise, it was 1154 CE. You can see here, right? And the new term which you learn here is cartographer, a person who makes map. Here you can see another map which we have already discussed. It was in early 18th century, that is 720, by Atlas by Nuan of Guillemot. You can see, yes, this map. And this is new and old terminology which we have already discussed about the term Hindustan and the term Pardesi. Here is the description of term Hindustan, which I already explained you through a flowchart. We have done this, right? I'm going through this book chapter so that you can read. Children, reading book is very important. And through this, we will be learning new key terms as well. Here you can see Ajnabi or Pardesi were the words for foreigner. And nowadays foreigner has a different meaning. This is very important, children. The value of paper. Nowadays, if you do not do anything right, you tear a paper and throw it off. But in those days, paper was really valuable. Here is a story of 13th century scholar who wanted to copy a book, but he did not have a paper. So what he did, he washed off the writing of manuscript he did not want. There were many manuscripts. One of the manuscripts was of no use to him. So he washed off it, dried up it, and then used that again. So see how important paper was in those days. Now here we learn a new word, archive. So archive is a place when documents and manuscripts are stored, right? It's a place where you store a document and manuscripts. Today, all national and state governments have archives where they keep all their old official records. Now, here you can see a painting of a scribe making a copy of a manuscript. Children, you remember we studied scribe? Scribe are the people who copy. What they do? They copy the original manuscript. So here you can see is a scribe who is trying to copy a manuscript. And he's trying to make a painting around it. This painting is only 10.5 centimeter and 7 point by in size. Because of its size, it's called miniature. And miniature paintings were sometimes used to illustrate the text of manuscripts. Like you read books, there are some pictures which make it interesting. So they used to make miniature painting to describe what is written in manuscripts. They were so beautiful that later collectors often took the manuscripts apart and sold these miniatures. See, this is very strange. These miniature paintings were so beautiful that people who later collected the manuscript, they used to separate this manuscript and keep this miniature paintings with them. Yes, here is the two writing styles of Arabic and Persian, that is Shikaste, and Nastaliq. The Nastaliq style is cursive and easy. You can see this. This one is Nastaliq, which was quite easy to read, and this one is Shikaste, which is very denser and difficult to read. New and social political groups that we already discussed in the chapter. And here it is a picture of Persian wheel. Yes, it is a picture of Persian wheel. In medieval period, we do see lot of technological development also happening. So you can see a picture of Persian wheel. Here we come to a new key term, which is habitat. Habitat refers to the environment of region and the social and economic lifestyle of its resident. That's what is habitat. Now here it is regions and empire. Children, do you remember we studied about pan-regional empire? This is a picture of one of the pan-regional empires. Provinces of Delhi Sultanate during Muhammad Tughlaq's reign, according to the Egyptian source Masalik al-Asbar, Ansar, Shifadun, Umar. So it is a picture prepared by Egyptian, and it is a reign or the area ruled by Muhammad Tughlaq. You can see it is a full whole India. So empires like this were called pan-regional. Yes, here is a description of language and region. In 1318, poet Amir Khusro noted that different languages in every region of this land, Sindhi, Lahori, Kashmiri, Devasamudri, Mabari, Avdi, and Hindwai were popular. And besides this language, there was one language which is very also there, and that's Sanskrit, which was not known by normal people, and it was a language of Brahmins. That was his findings. Old and new religion that we already discussed. Now here, patron, an influential, wealthy individual who supports another person, like artist, craftsperson, or a learned man or a noble. They were called patrons. Suppose a wealthy person buys a painting from an artist. So these wealthy people were called patrons because they gave them money or livelihood to survive. Okay, so that's a brief reading of a chapter. Now let's move on to book exercises. So the first question, who was considered a foreigner in past? So hope you remember this. In past, anybody who was new to that particular region, area, language or culture was called Pardesi. Maybe he is of the same country, it's just he is from different region, he was called Pardesi or a foreigner. Whereas today, it's somebody from another nation is called foreigner. The next question is true false. We do not find inscriptions for period after 700. Is it true? In fact, it is false. We do see that there was an invention of paper, so we do see lot of written material. So this statement is wrong. The second question, Maratha asserted their political importance during this period? Yes, in medieval period, we come to know about one people, one group, that is Maratha, and they became really very powerful. Third question, forest dwellers were sometimes pushed out of their lands with the spread of agricultural settlements. So this is also true. Forests were clear, so they have to leave forest. Next, Sultan Ghiyasuddin Balban controlled Assam, Manipur and Kashmir. So is it true or false? It is false. He did not rule Assam and Kashmir. Kashmir. Now move on to next question, which is filling the blanks. Let's read them. Archives are places where dash are kept. So the answer is manuscripts. Manuscripts are kept in archive. Next, dash was a 14th century chronicler. So it is Ziauddin Barani. He was a 14th century chronicler. Now let's move on to the next filling the blanks, which is dash, 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 and dash were some of the new groups introduced in subcontinent. So new crops. So they were potato, corn, chili, tea, and coffee. These were the new crops which were introduced in India in medieval time. Now let's move on to the next question. List some technological changes that are associated with this period. I hope you remember this answer. We discussed the technological changes. It was Persian wheel, spinning wheel, and firearm in combat. All these were the new technological changes which came in medieval period. Let's move on to the next question. What were some of the major religious developments during this period? So yes, there were many religious development as well. We'll discuss them right now. So here are the answer. Who were considered foreigner? List some of the technological changes. We have discussed that. Now let's move on to the next question. What were some of the major religious development? The major religious developments of this period are inclusion of new deities in Hinduism, emergence of bhakti, and introduction of Islam. I hope you remember we studied Hinduism, new deities were introduced, Islam came into India, and a idea of bhakti came in. Now let's move on to next question. In what ways the meaning of term Hindustan changed over centuries? Question number 6, right? So this also we discussed under the heading new and old terminology, right? We discussed about Minhaj Siraj, Babur, and Amir Khusro. So the answer would be, over the centuries there has been vast change in the meaning of term Hindustan. Today it is understood as India, the modern nation state. In 13th century, the term stood for the lands under Delhi Sultanate as per the Minhaj Siraj, and Babur used the term to describe geography, culture, fauna, and thus of the subcontinent. So in this way, the meaning of the term Hindustan changed over a period of time. Next question. How were the affairs of Jatis regulated? The affairs of Jatis were regulated by an assembly of elder known as, in some areas as, Jati Panchayat. So affairs of assembly was regulated by Jati Panchayat. Okay, so children, that's all for today, and tomorrow we'll discuss remaining question answers, and I'll send you these question answers so that you can learn them. I'll be sending a PDF form of these question answers in your Google Classroom. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.